Welcome friends to another Expanse video. Today we look to here, to Earth. Who rules on Earth? What is life like on Basic? And then take a look at the nearest colony to Earth, Luna, and how it's a point of escape for those on Earth that can make it. Background spoilers for the books throughout. Let's get straight into it. In the world of the Expanse, the United Nations is a federation of nations spanning Earth and Luna inside the Sol system. After World War II, it became an international organisation to create links and ties for nations to work with each other, such as agreeing laws that carry across all members without borders. Gradually, Earth's nations were still divided, but the United Nations had a large amount of power amongst them, and when the damage from Earth's ecosystem demanded it, the nations put aside their differences and gave up their authority to the United Nations, and this led to global unification. The United Nations Secretary General was the single voice, the one leader for all of humanity, and that position remained so until the Martian colony was given independence, which we will return to in a moment. The borders of countries were rewritten, with the planet being split into zones, united under the common interests of the people within them. Once under that banner, the New World Government lowered climate change to a level that people could live in and started programs to help with ecological recovery. Populations still grew, and people could not live further than the asteroid belt due to the limits of technology, but Mars did grow in popularity. So Earth at this time is an overpopulated planet trying to escape their birth world. And then Mars wanted independence. This was rejected by the United Nations until the Epstein drive was created. That allowed people to travel far enough to reach and colonize the belt and the outer planets. The inventor of this was from Mars. After his death, his plans were discovered by his wife. The drive gave Mars an advantage, and so it was able to force the United Nations to grant them independence. There was competition between Mars and the Earth after this, but not a true conflict, with both nations mass-producing the drive, allowing humanity the opportunity to live off-world if they wanted to. So we mentioned Basic earlier, and now we return to it. On Earth, it's a welfare system provided by the United Nations for the people of Earth and given to the many people there who do not or cannot work. It's a welfare program, and over half the people on Earth live off it. Basic gives them shared accommodation in government complexes, food in the form of delicious grey-looking protein, along with basic medical care in clinics, and paper clothing given out of kiosks, activated by a thumbprint. Though all of this is given for free, if you are on Basic, then you cannot have children, cannot have a family. Contraception is mandatory to control Earth's population, to stop it becoming overpopulated again, though there is a baby lottery allowing people the hope of a small number of births each year. Due to the environment they are raised in, these people are traditionally uneducated, but this has not stopped them from having a barter economy, small services that can function for their part of society, but not attract the attention of the government. So people can get off this treadmill of Basic, you need to get educated or get a job. To apply to be a student, you need 1 year's worth of credits. Perhaps you have to scrape together this money over generations to save it up and reach the target. Or you have to have the ability to demonstrate that you have a work ethic. So resources are given to the right candidates. And there are also uplift programs that can give education or job training, but they need to be self-taught to those people or be able to meet strict entrance criteria. These positions are very competitive, having long waiting lists, some as long as 10 years, but they are the only option for those who want to change their situation. Otherwise, living on Basic is the only life they will know. The entertainment on their screens, the only escape from its drudgery. But perhaps if they can become educated and rise up, they can escape, and the first place they would go is Luna. Luna, as you may have guessed, is a station located on the Moon. It's significant because it was the location for Earth's first interplanetary colony. It started as a combined effort by both the military and the science, but over time has become a civilian station. All 100 million citizens are under the jurisdiction of the United Nations. Basic is not extended to Luna, likely as the people who live there are wealthier than those still on Earth, so don't require it. The effort of living on Luna can also be seen in the people there. They are thinner than those native to Earth because of the lower gravity of the Moon. And now the position of Luna makes it a great way station between Earth and the rest of the solar system, a place where people from both the inner planets and outer colonies, such as the Belters, can meet those from the inner, with the low gravity of Luna letting them go there in comfort for a fairly long amount of time. The remains of its origins exist, with scientific institutes and universities being located there, along with regular shuttles to and from Earth and long-haul travel to the outer planets and the belt. The station is subject to intense solar radiation, as the Moon has no atmosphere and a constant rain of micrometeors, so Luna is protected by having the habitats and general infrastructure located underground. Only the spaceport and access ports to get underground are on the surface. To replace windows, high-definition screens are in place to simulate that same effect of windows, and this reminds me of the Belters staring at those screens wanting to escape. And so we come to the end of this video. Now friends, I turn this over to you. How awful do you think life on Basic sounds? Would you have what it takes to escape it? Are there any Expanse topics you would like the channel to cover? Comment down below and let me know.